Well, first of all, it's essentially an irrevocable choice. Now, you're not making this decision while you're working. This is something that you're going to complete during the retirement process. When you're filling out your retirement paperwork, or now the online application for retirement, you're going to choose if you want to elect a survivor benefit option or which survivor benefit option you're going to choose. Now, it's important to note also for those, if you are married, the default option, married at the time of retirement, the default option is the maximum. If you want to leave anything but the maximum, your spouse has to sign off on it. But this is essentially, as I said, an irrevocable choice. So let's say, in an example, that you chose the maximum survivor benefit and you saw a reduction of 10% of your pension while you're still alive. And 5 years down the road, you and your spouse are sitting there and you're going, you know what? We really don't need that survivor benefit anymore. And we can really use the 10% back into your pension check. Let's get rid of the survivor benefit. We don't need it. You can't cancel it. It's set in stone at that point. They're really the only two ways that you can make a change. And there is a little bit of a caveat. I will say this. There's a little bit of a caveat. There's generally like an 18-month window after you retire where you can make a modification. In most cases, it's only to increase your survivor benefit selection. But just in general, once you make that choice, it's set in stone. There's only two ways you can change it. Let's say you were not married at the time of retirement. Single, you wouldn't have chosen a survivor benefit, and then you get married in retirement. You can add the survivor benefit to your pension, right? It would reduce your pension, and then if something happened to you, your spouse will continue whatever election you had. The second is, what if your spouse dies first in retirement? So you chose a survivor benefit selection, whether it's the 50 or the 25%, and you didn't pass away first, your spouse passed away first. Then you can have the ability to cancel your survivor benefit, regain your full pension, but you do not get back any of the money that you put into the plan or that you lost at 5% or 10%. Those are really the only two life-changing events that would allow you to change your survivor benefit selection in retirement. So it's irrevocable, basically. I say basically, right? I don't want to, but assume that it's going to be set in stone. You can't change it. You want to make sure that you're choosing the right selection. Okay? By choosing it, it will reduce your pension. So the minimum is 5%, the maximum is 10% reduction of your pension. That cost is a percentage. So as you're getting cost of living adjustments in your pension should be going up over time. It should be increasing. Well, what is also increasing? The reduction amount. That's not a level cost. It's not 5% at the beginning and that's it. It's a 5% reduction going forward. So as you see an increase, the theoretical cost for that, and I shouldn't say theoretical, but the cost that you feel increases as well because it's a percentage. So you want to make sure you're choosing the right benefit, the right selection, and know the consequences of that selection. The last thing is the federal employee health benefits are attached to it. And this is more for the people that are choosing to go without a survivor benefit, because it's not just whether you choose one and choosing the right one. It's even if you make it an election to not take on a survivor benefit, understand the consequences there too, and the mistake that can be made. Your federal employee health benefits are attached to your survivor benefit selection. Now, what does that mean? That means that while you're alive, I'm going to back up here. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm a federal retiree and I chose not to take a survivor benefit. No survivor benefits. I want to get the maximum pension. I don't want to see any reduction. Maximum benefit. No survivor benefits. Okay, great. While I'm alive, myself and my spouse are going to be covered by my health insurance. Okay? Federal employee health benefits are going to be for both of us. I'm getting a maximum pension, no survivor benefits. We enjoy my health insurance while I'm alive. Now, let's say I die first in retirement and I did not select that survivor benefit. Number one, my spouse will not get anything going forward. My pension stops. And two, so does my health insurance. It dies with me. So if your spouse is 100% dependent on your health insurance and you want to make sure 100% that they can continue your health insurance if you die first as the retiree, then you need to at least elect a minimal survivor benefit of 25%. No survivor benefit, no health insurance continuation. Now, in my opinion, this is my opinion. You can feel free to disagree. And if you do disagree, reach out to me. I'd love to have the conversation. I think the survivor benefit is a bad piece of life insurance. Why? Because, well, let's look at how does life insurance work? Life insurance, think about your figure. You pay a premium, there's a cost, and if something happened to you, your spouse, your beneficiary, whoever, gets a lump sum tax-free death benefit. That's how life insurance works. Here, same type of thing. There's a cost. That cost is variable. It doesn't stay level like a real life insurance plan would in a lot of cases, like an individual life insurance plan. It's a variable cost. It goes up. Regular life insurance is level. And when somebody dies using the survivor benefit, it's not a tax-free lump sum benefit they get. It's a taxable monthly benefit for the rest of their life. And there's no guarantee of how long that's going to last and how much money they're going to get from the benefit. Where in a real life insurance plan, it's a tax-free lump sum and they know exactly what they're going to get and can do with that money whatever they want. So there's a few more points in there too, but just generally, I'm not a fan of the survivor benefit. But I still do recommend it in the cases where you will 100% need to ensure that your spouse can continue the health benefits. So if you have further questions of this, if you're contemplating the survivor benefit, you want to avoid this mistake and ensure you made the right choice when it came to your survivor benefit election, reach out to us. We can review it with you. Again, it's federalretirementshow.com. Fill out the form. We'll be in touch. We'll review your whole situation and answer any specific questions that you have. Thank you for watching the Federal Retirement Show. If you like this clip, make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever we have new content. We look forward to seeing you each and every week on the Federal Retirement Show.